Welcome to WGTV Today. I'm Kim Best, your host. Today I'm joined by Ed Cianfera, who is the Chief Inspector for the City of Goldsboro. Welcome, Ed.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining me, and today I hear you're going to give us all kinds of details and overviews about minimum housing and just overall what you do, what your department does.
Well, my department actually consists of several sections: commercial construction, residential construction, minimum housing, and demolition by neglect, which are city ordinances. Since you wanted to talk about minimum housing,
yes,
I can give you an overview of what minimum housing is.
So many of us have no idea that there's a set of regulations, and we don't know from start to finish what minimum housing is, and I think you giving us this information will give us a better understanding here in the community.
Well, the state of North Carolina back in the late 70s created a minimum housing code. They set the minimum acceptable standard for living conditions within the state of North Carolina.
Okay.
It's changed slightly over the years, but it is basically still the same. And it is our job to take that code and to go out into the community and enforce those regulations as the state dictated. The process in itself is fairly long. It set a standard that people have to live by. The property owners, whether you own a property or rent a property, it's a standard. And that standard has several sections to it.
So it doesn't matter if you own it or rent it, you still are
Absolutely.
responsible for the exact same
Absolutely.
standards?
These are minimum acceptable standards in the state of North Carolina.
Okay.
And we enforce that code by, we have a staff that goes out. It's a complaint basis.
Okay.
We respond to the complaints within 24 hours, and we go out and see if that structure, whether it be an apartment,
right,
or whether it be a full house, we see if that structure meets those standards.
And if it does not, what do you do at that point?
At that point, if it does not meet that standard, once we inspect it, we write it up. We find out who the property owner is, whether it's the person living there or it may be an out-of-state person. We write all the violations down. We send them a first contact letter stating that you have problems on this structure. We wait a certain period of time, approximately 20 days, get a first contact letter back. After the first contact letter, and we don't get a response from the owner to discuss these problems and how we're going to get them fixed and how quick we can get them fixed,
right,
then we send what we call Phase 1. Now, minimum housing is set up in 3 phases. Each phase has a certain period of time that gives the owner an opportunity each time to make the repairs that we're requesting to bring that structure back into compliance with the code.
So you're constantly trying to get the owner to do it themselves, to meet the code, so you can stop the process.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Once the first contact, the letter comes back, then we have to send Phase 1. Phase 1 basically reiterates what we said in the contact letter. You are in violation. Please come in and discuss it with us. Let's figure out a plan how we're going to get these fixed, and a time limit.
Okay.
Once we pass that time limit, then we send them Phase 2. Phase 2 is another notification. Phase 2 also expresses to them that we've already sent you Phase 1, and a period of time has passed, and we still have no response. Once Phase 2 runs out, then we send them Phase 3. Now, please understand that Phase 3, by this time we've got almost a year involved because of the time limits from the day we first inspected the property and found the violations. At the end of Phase 3, we're almost right at a 9-10 month period. Then, after we finish Phase 3, we make sure that we do another title search on the property because there may be loans on this property, people who hold notes, whatever. It may not be free and clear. So we have to notify all those people, and if it's heir property, we have to notify all the heirs, and sometimes we've notified as many as 25 heirs to a piece of property living all across the United States.
Do you have to have a response back from all 25?
Yes, we send registered letters, so we have to send a registered letter to each one of these people and any lien holder that may be interested in the property. When we finish Phase 3, we send them what we call the last chance letter. We basically tell them, listen, we've spent all this time, come on, let's get this property fixed. Some properties are in much more deteriorated shape than others, so it's kind of a, let's hurry up and just get it fixed. And when we complete that process, and after the last chance letter runs out, then you will see me prepare it before I go before the city council and ask the city council for condemnation for demolition. At that point, then we're ready to demolish the house.
So my goodness, that's a long length of time from the first time you go to inspect it to before you go to the city council. So
It's
that is
approximately
because
13 months.
13 months.
13 months, because
start to
that's the
finish.
state regulated process that we have to follow. That gives that property owner, then there's no opportunity for the property owner to say that we didn't have a chance to fix the property. We've given you 13 months, we've made numerous contacts with you, and now we're at the process where if you're not going to fix it, I'm going before the city council to request city council condemn it for demolition. And at that point, then once I get that condemnation from the city council, then we also then have to require that asbestos test be taken before we demolish any home and put any asbestos contamination out there. We have to have a certified, licensed asbestos removal contractor take tests, verify what asbestos is in the house, the percentage of it, have it completely removed, have it certified that it's clean, so when the demolition process takes place, there's no possibility of contamination in the air. Then we demolish and remove the house. At that point, it is a clean lot.
So your job is you're trying to prevent houses from ever getting to that point of
Absolutely.
being demolished. You're trying to work with the owner to do whatever it takes to get that property back where it can be rented or used or lived in.
In the minimum housing process, the whole 13 months that we spend in this process, we're doing nothing but basically asking, please, let's fix this house up.
Right.
And it's not our intent to demolish houses. It's our intent to keep them a viable either rental property or property owner's property. One of the things we have in effect in the local ordinance is demolition by neglect.
Right, right.
Demolition by neglect was created for the situation where when we first notice a house is starting to deteriorate. It is a citywide ordinance, and by the way, minimum housing is also citywide. We do
Okay.
not do it in the extraterritorial jurisdiction. We try to prevent these houses to deteriorate to a point where it has to be in minimum housing.
Right.
We try to notify owners at that, come on, we're noticing that the shingles are starting to really look bad, that the paint is starting to peel, and you need to be made aware of that if this continues, this house is going to deteriorate and you're headed for minimum housing. So when we have two ordinances that basically the city, from the start of deterioration that we know and we follow it, we try to stop. So sometimes a house falls into minimum housing that was never in demolition by neglect.
Okay.
Sometimes we have a house that was in demolition by neglect and nobody's made an effort, and now we're here and it's almost 2 years from the time we started it till the time we come before the city council and request condemnation for demolition. So it's
Wow.
a very long process.
It is. It sounds like, and you have cleared up the misconception that if I call you today and tell you there's a house on certain street that is old and dilapidated and I'd like for you to demo it, in 60 days when I don't see it gone, now I better understand, and I hope the citizens do too, as why it takes a long period of time. You have to follow a certain process set up by the state of North Carolina.
That's correct. And it's just a process that gives everybody a fair opportunity to either make repairs, and it gives the citizens, unfortunately, sometimes it looks like we're not reacting,
Right.
but it gives the citizens who may be in a neighborhood where a house needs repair an opportunity to see a house saved.
Right.
Having an empty lot in the neighborhood sometimes it's really not as good as trying to save that house that was there initially. So we have a neighborhood. Sometimes you tear down so many houses you lose the neighborhood.
Right.
And we don't want that. We want the city of Goldsboro to maintain its value through the houses that we have on them,
We have in our community, yes, yes. Well, thank you so much. I think that's a great explanation as to what minimum housing is and what demo by neglect is. I appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
You have given us some great information, and we'll hope to see you soon on various other topics that are all covered under the Inspections Department.
Thank you very much for having me.
Certainly. Well, I hope you learned more about what's happening in your community. I'm Kim Best, your host. We'll see you again tomorrow.